So my name is Tony Gorschek. I am the project manager for the PROMIS program. So Professional Master in Information Security is the official names, but basically it's security of software intensive in general. I'm going to start with basically just presenting myself. So I work as an engineering researcher at BTH, mostly in close collaboration with a number of companies, and we basically try to work in a way to solve problems. And security is a very important area, of course, and a very big area. That's why we've teamed up, and I would say that most people here are security experts. I am not. I'm more of an engineer, very interested and realize that security is important. So that's why we started working together on this program. What I would like to present today is basically 15 minutes on the security area and the PROMIS program, and specifically what it is and how it works. Because the context is important, and then each of the course team responsibles will do a 4 to 5 minute presentation on the courses being developed in near time, so currently. But it's a longer project that lasts 4 to 6 years, which means that a lot of courses will be developed and given over time, so to professionals. So that's basically it. I would like to highlight two things. If you're interested in any topic or any area, even if we don't mention it, we have a link to a URL. I put it in the chat too. And there you can go in and sign up for keeping track of a course or an area. So you get a list of areas and you can click there, submit your email. And then when we develop a course in that area, you'll get a notification about the information about the course, but also invites. You don't have to participate, but you get invites to workshops in the area. Minimum, you can listen to what's happening and other colleagues, but you can also contribute to the development of the courses and the education. So that's a very important link if you want to stay informed. And it's not one per company, it's one per individual. So anybody can sign up. This is a university, which means there is no competition and no commercial interests at all. So that said, let us get on with it. So I just wanted to kind of just put a slight definition on security. So security is a huge field, of course, but basically we have three parts in security. We have the operational perspective, we have the engineering perspective, and we have technology perspective. And of course, these intertwine and feed each other, but we've chosen just to divide it to be pedagogical in terms of that. Generally, when you think about security, you think about operational security, which is forensics, monitoring, detection, analytics, etc. And that's kind of the lion part of security, and often what people in security work with. However, there is also another area we're trying to highlight and at least have some parts in, and that is engineering security, which means that how do we build and design and code and develop products that take security into consideration from the start? So not necessarily perfectly secure systems, but how do you do a risk analysis, for example, initially? How do you have secure architectures? How do you think about security from early stages? And of course, learning from operational security, but we also work on developing new ways of thinking in terms of engineering. And of course, technology is the technology that enables both software intensive products and services, but also the technology that enables security and the inverse of security. And all of these we try to cover to some extent in the courses being developed. So this is kind of our view of the area, that we like to divide it so that we don't miss important perspectives. But of course, most things we do dip into all of them. So it's not an orthogonal categorization in any way. But I think that just to kind of get a feeling for when we say security, there are different perspectives to look at security. And whatever perspective you have, whether you're an engineer and would like to be security aware, or you're a security expert, or you're developing technologies that are relevant for security, all are relevant in this discussion. And if we look at the PROMIS program, the PROMIS program is literally a program that we developed and applied for funding from a funding agency to be able to develop courses for professionals. So all the courses that are being developed in the PROMIS program are developed at university level in university grade. So basically it's a real university course, but it's developed for professionals, and we want input from professionals in relation to the contents of the courses. And we've already done this to some extent and identified, of course, that we have a number of challenges in society. And this, of course, relates to that software intensive products and services. First, it's in the name. I mean, software is everywhere, which means that we also have radically increased service levels, but with that comes a radically increased attack surface. So going from hacking some things to basically hacking the lights you have. I mean, anything and everything goes into security and privacy and to some extent safety. Thus, it's a very opportune moment to actually start looking into that everybody, not only security experts, but everybody in every organization needs to know little about security, and then progressively more depending on your role. So you cannot just leave security in the design of a system to the security experts, but rather every engineer needs to be security aware and knowledgeable. Then of course you have experts too. And also application of new technologies like AI, which doesn't exist, but narrow AI and machine learning, both enables protection, but also enables and increases attack surfaces, which means that we need to be aware of this. Thus, the area of security evolves very fast all the time. And that's kind of the background for the PROMIS program. And in the PROMIS programs, we have a bunch of challenges we've identified, inspired by others, of course, but also by our company partners. And as a response to this, we've tentatively created a number of courses that we plan to develop. Now, what's important here is these are tentative names of courses with tentative contents. The important thing is that, and based on this, we applied for funding and we have funding. Now we're in the phase of starting the project and starting the development of the courses. And the courses, as I said, will be university grade. So it's not a 2-day drink a lot of coffee and have a friendly chat course, but rather it's a proper university course, which is beneficial because you can apply for it. It's free, and you have the ability to take the course and get actual university credits for the course. But it's also adapted for people having a job already, which means that the idea is that you're working at the company, whatever you're doing, you're a security expert, but maybe you're an engineer, maybe you're a manager, it doesn't really matter. You can actually apply and get into a course in the PROMIS program and take that course in security. And all this information is available in detail. This is just a snapshot, you don't have to read all of it. But the idea is to have a block of courses that gives all the roles 1 or 2 courses they could be really interested in. So from more management-oriented courses like investment and risk analysis of security, how much security should you invest in, to very detailed security-focused courses like malware analysis and digital forensics. So the span is, the idea behind the span is to give a complete picture of security from our perspective, but also have different courses for different groups and roles. Even if it's a really good idea, of course, to do cross-role learning. So an engineer would be very good for an engineer to both have the management perspective and the technical detailed perspective to have a better understanding. And we're a consortium of people from computer science, software engineering, mathematics, and other areas who work together to kind of develop these courses. And the idea is that we should kind of harness all the experience we have as professionals from different areas, but also harness the capacity from our industrial partners. And I think that's kind of the important thing, that the courses aren't done and you kind of apply for them, but rather the courses are under development, and we're developing 4 or 5 courses every year. We want company partners to actually be part of that course development. And when I say company partners, it doesn't have to be official with a contract or anything. Literally anybody who has the knowledge or interest in the field. And this is important. You actually don't have to be an expert. You can actually be a person who needs the knowledge. So you don't have the knowledge, but you would like to learn more about an area. All of these people are perfect candidates for signing up to actually be part of the course development team. And what that means is that they get information, but also can participate in workshops to explain their situation, to explain their needs, to share their knowledge and experience. So you'll go to the link, you'll get it in the slides. There you can sign up and we'll contact you, and then we'll have a number of seminars and workshops where you can participate, either as a customer, so you need the area, your company, or you personally need or are interested in the knowledge, or you're an expert. Both are super important. And that's kind of the core of this, that we try to invite people working in industry as partners when we're developing the courses. Then of course the course gets developed and we give it, and then you can take the course and apply for it as a normal university course. So basically the setup and longevity is kind of designed as you have the program, which is kind of the collection name, but then you kind of have a number of courses under it. I think we're about 20 courses total we're going to develop of different sizes in different areas. And the idea, of course, is that we've done initial needs and ideas and contribution from company partners. We'll have a list of them. Some of you are actually already partners. And then, of course, we also have students in the courses that give information about the courses, but also we learn from giving the courses and refine them over time, like any university course. But we're more focused on listening to the potential students and experts from industry, both in terms of the contents of the course, but also how the course is given. So, and of course, then we synchronize with the civil engineering and engineering programs at BTH to take advantage, both using the things we develop in PROMIS in the engineering programs, but also learning from the engineering programs into PROMIS. So the idea is, of course, that these courses should be better than a pure industrial course would be, and also better than a university course would be. So kind of a sweet spot in the middle. That's kind of the idea. And of course, each course is driven as a mini project, which means that you have course responsibles for each. If you go to the link, you sign up, then the course responsibles get you on a list and they'll keep you informed. We won't spam you, won't spread the information. It's just you'll be invited and get some information. The idea is that you can be as active as you want. So you can be super active in the course development and contribute, or you can be more passive and just get the information. Either is very important, because we focus all our energy and effort into developing the courses and have very little funding for spreading the information, which means that our company partners on an individual level, you are the best way to spread the information about PROMIS and the courses in PROMIS to your colleagues and friends in your company and other companies. And we've done such a program before. It's called Prompt, and it was in software engineering, but it was the same principle. And it was very normal to have 20-25 companies represented in a course and 40-50 people in a course to actually take the course. And one of the really good things about these courses, in addition to that the courses are kind of tailored towards being able to take them when you work. So basically we are trying to do case-based pedagogy, distance, You can watch the lectures when you have time. We interact with the students on evenings and weekends to kind of compensate that you have a job. The interchange between the companies is also interesting because you get to meet people who have the same challenges as you, but from different companies and domains. So that's kind of in a nutshell what PROMIS is. This is kind of a nice picture for academics, but basically it says that we do a lot of work in refinement. So we don't do a perfect design, but rather we do as best as we can, do the course, collect a lot of information, and then upgrade the courses continuously. So we have a lot of great partners in the project. We basically have two types of partners, really. I mean, if I categorize them very harshly, and often those partners are represented in the same company. So we have IT experts or information security or security experts, and we have security users, right? So for example, TruSec is a company that is representative of selling security as a concept, as a product, and are great experts in it. However, IKEA might have security experts, but they are mainly using security in their work to develop their products. So their product is not security in itself. And we try to combine our partners in these. So both are super important because they contribute different things and need different things. And we need to cover both of those things. I just took TruSec and IKEA as examples. They're not more or less appreciated than any of our other great partners. And we really have great partners, thanks to the team and the interest of the area. One of our partners invited us today, for example. So we appreciate that. So moving on, basically there's a bunch of courses being developed. The 5 courses that are being developed, we have 3 courses that are already developed and they are given now and next year. And that's software security, a base course, web security, and security in software intensive product and service development. Those 3 courses in blue here are already developed and available to apply to and actually take for industrial professionals. So basically, the prerequisite for taking a PROMIS course is that you have at least 2 years work experience. And then you don't have to have a lot of academic points before you take the course, because the work experience compensates for a lack in having a master's, for example, or a bachelor's degree. But these are details we can discuss later and share information about. So this period, so this year, we're developing 5 new courses and they are in the startup phase. And those are the courses we're going to discuss now. So I would like to give the course responsibles 5 minutes per course, approximately, to just introduce the courses that are being developed just now. And again, remind you to kind of sign up on the link for information about the courses and invites to workshops and discussions. Any questions on this part before we move on?
Just a practical one. How do you sign up?
So signing up for course information you do on tinyurl.com/.
For the courses that are available now, I was thinking.
Yeah, no problem. You go to the course homepage, which is PROMIS EDU, which should be in a link, the first slide, yeah. And there you can read which courses are available and how you apply.
You can also apply via antagningen.se or university admission. Just search for the courses there, because it's a regular university course as well. So
it is, but just to not confuse, because if you search for software security, you'll find 5 billion courses. If you go to the webpage, PROMIS EDU, you literally have information about each course and a link how to apply. So I think that's the kind of the collection for PROMIS in that webpage. So that's, I think, is the easiest. Then you will be forwarded to applying in the normal procedure. Okay.
Nikhil had a question as well.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question around how can we do a collaboration on, like, if we have to give some contribution or any comments of any of the courses, any improvement suggestions. So what is the channel for collaboration?
So two stages. One, you go to either you send us an email on aes@bth.se and saying who you are and what you're interested in. But the better way is going to the URL, which is top of the page here, and basically you'll get the list of courses and areas, and you can basically just click them and put in your email address, and we'll get back to you with activities. Okay. So we have 5 courses to present shortly. I would like to invite Anders and Alexei to present Advanced Digital Forensics, which is the first course in the list.
Okay, I can start a little bit. And Alexei, did you, because I'm not available, so I can put up some PowerPoints, but the course is put together how to analyze and how to investigate advanced infrastructures attacks. The goal is to analyze those attacks and to learn the students how to look at the big pictures, because sorry, I don't know if that's the kill chain from an attack for ransomware or theft of secret data is a long trail of traces. Maybe best you, because I have a really bad connection here on the floor. Alexei, can you tag in and?
Yeah, sure. As Anders said, the main goal to give our attendees ability to not only to investigate some artifacts in separate environments, looks like operative system or network, but give a full picture of threats based on cyber kill chain or APT life cycle models analysis as well. The course syllabus contains several modules, started from whole digital forensic process with of course, operative system forensic, mobile, network, and of course, reporting. As far as you could see, we plan to establish initial bootcamp for 1.5 credits to force our students to be familiar with digital forensic processes and not to make errors or mistakes during the data acquisition or analysis. Also, we have included practical lab sessions in 4 credits with real hands-on experience, which will be delivered in real world with real world artifacts, and in the end, students need to deliver a whole report of analyzed cyber attacks with wide range of artifacts as well as compromised assets. Of course, during the course, we will deliver you a real-world case analysis and discussions. As far as me and Anders and our teachers, we have a strong practical experience in different types of APT attacks, started from malware, simple malware, to distributions and with ending of attacks on critical infrastructure objects in different countries. So it's about the advanced digital forensic. We would like to deliver a real world experience with from highly skilled professionals. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can just add that today we have forensics people from both TruSec that are working with the big cases like Coop attack in Sweden, and we have people from Orange but also from the police. They have a team called Komplexa Cyberbrottsgruppen. Their manager of that team is also included initially in our team. So, and we still will fill up with some more people. Thanks.
Thank you. As far as Alex and Vlad are not available, I will continue from your permission, Tony. Okay?
Yes,
so,
please.
I would like to introduce Alexander Adamov. He has more than 15 years in malware analysis and malware analysis related topics, started from, let's say, reverse engineering and ending with estimation of quality of antiviruses and so on. And he will be responsible for malware analysis course. It will be also consist from 7.5 credits, education credits, and will give you skills of real-world threats analysis, starting from malware distribution, malware lateral movement, different types of cyber weapon, destroyers, cryptolockers, etc., etc. We will focus on the course will be focused on several different approaches, as well as static analysis and dynamic analysis, and of course some reverse engineering for different platforms, Windows and Android as most vulnerable for malware distribution. This course is focused for specialists who already work in security operations centers or in threat hunting companies, or would like to be more familiar with such specific topic as malware analysis. Next slide, please. The course contains 5 modules, starting from malware history and overview, with some specific on different programming languages and their representation in binary code, and fundamentals of malware analysis with static, dynamic, with unpacking, defuscation, debugging, disassembling, and so on. And we would like to emphasize that one of our biggest advantage that we have started the topic and the direction of data mining in malware analysis in BTH. So we would like to give you understanding that malware is not a technique, but it's an instrument for wide range of goals and so on. And we would like to give you understanding how to analyze the data obtained from malware analysis to hunt for future malware distributions and so on. The next slide, please. About the machine learning security course. This course will contain 6 credits. His manager is Vladimir Tkach. He is professional in data analysis and cybersecurity. The main idea of this course that we have 2 options for relation between machine learning and security. First option, it's machine learning in security, how we could use artificial intelligence techniques in cybersecurity, which what the value could be given for us by analyzing the data. It's a little bit crossroad with the previous my words about the malware analysis. But the second part is security into the machine learning. It's about the threats for machine learning systems, for computational algorithms, for educational algorithms and their mistakes and misconfiguration, and so on. Next slide, please. This course will contain 4 main modules, as far as you see. First, it's a basic for machine learning and artificial intelligence. We will give you understanding which methods of education, machine learning education exist, how they could be used, which problems could be solved by these methods. 2 modules that reflects my previous words about the 2 directions in relationship between machine learning and security. And the last module will reflect a highly practical approach how to use your obtained skills in real-world exercises. For this purposes, we will use some well-known software. For example, for data analysis, we will use Splunk, and with bulk of different data, we need to clarify, classify with proposed methods. Thank you, Tony. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So, Emil.
Yes. So now I hope that you hear me as well.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Technical experts here from BTH didn't figure out how to turn the microphone on before. Don't let that affect your confidence in us. So now we heard a little bit about courses where we're talking about designing quality and also a little bit of testing it and etc. But in this course that I represent here now, I'm talking more about testing in general, quality assurance of your security aware applications. And this is a 6-point credit course, so you can change slide, Tony. So a little bit of the reality that we work in today is that applications are a primary target for cyber attacks, and we're still developing them with mostly agile lean software development practices where we need to test iteratively and incrementally improve our quality in terms of, well, all the non-functional aspects, including then security. But what we've seen then is that security can be integrated even further into the software development lifecycle, becoming part of continuous integration and so on and so forth. So next slide, please. So, and Tony, next slide, thank you. So when it comes to then software security practices, there are, if we want to split them up, 2 core parts. So either you have the reactive ones, which are more the testing oriented way of assuring security quality, meaning that security testing and integrating testing techniques into your continuous integration pipeline. However, there is also the proactive approach where you're talking more about designing for quality. Designing security into the applications and also making sure that the interface, etc., are all secure before you even start testing anything. So Tony, if you could switch slide again. So the goal with this course is to give you an understanding about the fundamentals of continuous secure software applications and how to test these. Then also we will sneak into this more proactive approach of software testing, software quality assurance, where we talk about the designing secure software, and then also talk a lot about risk-based software development and planning through risk, how to design, what to design, and what to test. So last slide. So similar to the other courses, this course is then split up into different modules, where in the first module we'll talk about software security theory, so giving a pretty high overview of the topic. Then in the second module we'll look into software testing fundamentals, so it's more about giving a broad overview about software testing, automated manual testing in general, and then to move on then in modules 3 and 4 for the proactive and reactive approaches to software testing for security or quality assurance of security, and how that fits together with the modern ways of doing software testing. So this course is sort of designed for non-security experts, but with some testing experience, but with a huge interest in quality assurance and testing of software security. Yes. Good.
Great, thank you. We try to be in reasonable time so we can have a Q&A. Thank you everybody for your attention, and the slides will be made available directly after this, of course. I would again like to remind you that the link on the top is kind of where you can sign up if you're interested in the course, either your company or you as an individual. Either is completely fine. And also a link you can spread to your colleagues if they're interested in the area, and we promise not to spam you. You'll get 4 or 5 emails per year with invites and information and links. That's it, really. Thank you very much.